Yo, it's your boy Marcus from Morsini back with a video. Today we're going to be talking about the patch notes for the next season of COD Mobile. Season 3, Paranoia. Sorry if I sound a little messed up. I just did like 18 miles of working, so I'm exhausted. 18 miles of anything is a lot. So, that being said, pretty much one of the things I'm just going to cover in the beginning of this video before we actually get into the breakdown of all the buffs and nerfs. The COD Mobile doesn't really make significant changes to the meta, and I think that this season of patch notes shows that. I think if you look at every season of patch notes for the last like 4 years, you're like, none of them really made significant changes to like the overall meta. It kind of just buffed the gun that was like right outside of the meta into the meta, and then maybe nerfed the gun that was the meta every once in a while if it's egregious. Like the only time I can think that they nerfed a meta into the ground was like the MG42 got nerfed into the toilet. The S36 at one point got nerfed into the toilet, but like the USS9, like they won't really nerf that gun. It kind of stays relevant the entire time, even though they keep hitting it with nerfs. They make them as small as possible so that the gun isn't completely unusable, and in turn it stays completely broken because they won't actually nerf the gun. So yeah, I don't think anything's changing with these nerfs, and I pretty much see that everybody can keep running the exact same classes they've been running for the past year and a half because nothing's really changing. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to go over all this stuff, but it's honestly pointless because they didn't really do enough with these changes to make anything that different. There will be a couple guns that I feel like maybe you'll have a better option to go with, but overall, you get the point. You're going to be using the same stuff you've been using because it's still going to be good. Like the Tundra is probably one of the biggest nerfs. It's getting like an ADS speed nerf. That's about it. Hopping in here with the streaks, Strafe Run, Purifier, Hives, Wilson, you're going to see some buffs to those in different ways, so that's nice. It's nice to be able to use different items instead of just spamming the same items over and over and over again. Misdirection's getting a nerf. Don't know why, but it is. Overload UAV, I haven't even used that before. I know it's recently come into the game, but I haven't even used it yet. It looks like Napalm Strike and a couple other things getting changed. Once again, like I said, none of those really make a big difference to most people. I feel like if you're like somebody who enjoys playing pubs commonly, you'll find something there that's like, okay, now this gun's a little bit better or something like that, or the streak's a little bit better and more usable. So maybe you'll have something to switch it up with. But for the most part, if you're a ranked person or you're using any of these guns, you're probably not going to be making many changes. That being said, in this gameplay, by the way, you're seeing me using the FR. I need to get this diamond. I'm about 110 games away from getting it diamond, so I got a lot of grinding to do. 110 games, that's a solid several hours of gaming, so I don't really have time for that. But when I do have time, I'm going to be grinding this out. Trying to get the Road to Diamond series back on track. I'm doing like one Road to Diamond a month right now, so I need to get like one a week would be ideal, but that's 100 games, 120 games, 150 games of pretty much just shipment free-for-all in a week, and that's tough to do. So I'm working on it, just trying to get in like 15 games a day and slowly get through the Road to Diamond series since I've really tapered back on it. So just letting you guys know that. You'll probably see me trying to get a couple more of these up. It's just super time consuming. Here we're looking at the ISO. This is a big one, I think, for most people. The ISO is like right outside of the DMZ meta. Like it's not the best DMZ gun, but it's pretty good. And it's getting some significant changes to suppressors and barrels. I think that's really going to help it become even more viable, which I'm super okay with because the ISO is not a gun we commonly see used. So seeing it become, a more commonly used gun is actually totally fine with me because it's a different gun. It's a different meta, right? It's never been the meta before, so why not make it the meta? Cordite, SPR, Groza, and UL. I don't like the UL, so I hate that they're buffing it, but whatever. As long as it doesn't become the meta, I'm totally fine with that. Groza is an interesting one because like that gun's never been good, but you know, they're making some solid changes to it to make it better. So hopefully, you know, it becomes a little more viable if you have a skin for it. I definitely see people with skins for that gun wanting to make that gun a little bit better. And then the SPR, I've never been a marksman rifle guy anyway, so that's kind of meaningless to me. And yeah, the DLQ, obviously that's a good one. People love the DLQ. I feel like all time that's like everybody's favorite sniper rifle in COD Mobile, you know what I mean? Even if you weren't playing back in the day, back when that was like the best sniper in the game, you probably still love the DLQ. It's just like the OG of COD Mobile. That being said, let's get into this last set of patch notes. And it's going to be a couple more nerfs, but mostly buffs to things that just kind of are whatever. The Lockman getting a buff, don't really think that's necessary. I think it's pretty good as it is. The SO14 getting a nerf, but if you look at that, like those are not nerfs that really make a difference. Like you're nerfing that attachment, but you got to nerf the overall gun. Right, that bullet impact nerf, the hit flinch penalty, and the STF delay, it's not enough. Right, it needs to be much more significant to the actual gun itself. So I still see the SO14 getting spammed like crazy, and I think everybody will eventually get sick of that because it's just super cheesy, easily abused, one-tap kills across the map that take relatively no skill. Hades, I do love seeing the Hades get buffed. That's a huge thing for me. Rapid fire barrel and the crossbar, that's pretty awesome. I love the Hades. It's one of my favorite LMGs, so I would like for it to be much, much better. I don't know when we see it actually become the meta, because it's pretty hard to become the meta with a gun like the Hades. You know what I mean? It's like a 4-shot kill across map. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you want to. It's been your boy Marcus, and we'll see you. I'm out.